stupid questions.
You guys ever shop online late at night when you're a little loopy?
Yeah, way too often.
Too much.
Well,
I do.
Yeah. Do you ever open up your door and there's a package and you have no idea
Yes,
who ordered
always.
it, or
Like daily.
It's like Russian roulette.
is this online era killing the real world?
Yes.
Well,
Welcome to the Only Stupid Questions podcast, where we ask the questions that may be too stupid to ask. I'm Brandon.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Matt.
Only stupid questions.
Hey guys.
And on that note,
And on that note, do you think I have a chance at professional boxing? Do you think I could do it?
yes. You
are
can
you
do
fighting
better than
Ryan
Tyson.
Paul next? Yeah,
See the
sometimes
Tyson
I
fight?
write the book.
Yeah, Tyson fight was rigged.
Totally.
Did you hear that he was seen with a shovel near Muhammad Ali's grave?
Dude, what? What are you talking about? This is how we're
Nice.
starting the podcast.
Matt gets me.
You're talking about Jake Paul, right?
Yeah, Jake
So,
Paul was
yeah.
seen with a shovel near
There's
Muhammad
some-
Ali's grave.
There's some funny
Oh.
memes about that. It's
Okay.
like Jake
I
Paul
thought you
just
meant-
signed an agreement with,
Okay.
400-year-old.
Oh,
Those
man.
things are awesome.
So good.
He's looking to get every record.
Well, it's
Yeah, for
crazy.
sure.
The guy calls out Conor McGregor after the fight. Conor McGregor, he's like 4 or 5 inches and 50 pounds lighter.
My
him,
money
but
would
he-
still go on McGregor.
Maybe.
Every
I
time.
don't know.
He's Irish.
He is, but I don't think
They
he
fight like this.
That reminds me of the time we went to that bar in a shed on the side of a mountain to watch a fight.
Man, me and Bobby went out to this middle of nowhere shed. I'm like, hey, it's tempting, brother. You want to go with me? We'll go to the middle of nowhere. It's the only other place in this valley showing the fight. Doesn't that sound tempting to go to a tough shed bar in the middle of nowhere?
Hey, that
You-
was
you're
one of the
gonna
most
have to,
memorable experiences.
It was.
Wasn't it like thick into the COVID?
Oh, yeah. It was thick.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was snowing. So there was a
Yeah.
couple reasons you didn't
I
make
was
it.
probably scared to go out of my underground bunker.
Standing
glad-
room only.
Glad we did it. Won't do it again. So.
Oh, I'd totally do it again. That was a blast.
Would you go to that? All right.
Yeah,
The
why wouldn't you do
brazen-
it again?
The brazen horse. I'd do it if we rolled deep. We need Matt and a few others with us next time.
Cody.
I mean, if you go in the summer, they've got the whole outdoor area.
Summer
But
wouldn't be bad.
It was bitter cold the night we went, so everyone was inside the tough shed.
And we thought the cops were going to bust in at any time. Again, that was thick, middle of winter 2020. And watching Conor McGregor and a couple others fight in a tough shed. It's literally a bar set up in a tough shed. So for those of you who make fun of Utah liquor licenses, at least they gave them one. I had never
Nice.
seen something like that.
Yeah, it was in Twilla County.
Yeah. Twilla County, the most guns per capita in the country. So look it up.
Most legal guns per capita.
Well,
Most
when-
registered guns, right?
Yeah, when people have more guns than they have appendages of their body.
That's true.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah,
not
I
saying it
don't know,
is.
man.
Just saying
Second
the
Amendment,
people
baby.
they're all very much alike.
Yeah,
Right to bear arms
we're
and
made
legs.
for each other out here. That's right. That's right. Speaking of silly things,
You're silly.
when you're tired or high or maybe under the influence of something, do you guys ever shop online late at night
Too
when you're a
much.
little loopy?
Yeah, way too often.
Too much. Do you ever
And
get
then all
dumb
this-
stuff when you shop online?
Well,
I do.
Yeah. Do you ever open up your door and there's a package and you have no idea
Yes,
who ordered
always.
it? Or
Like daily.
It's like Russian roulette.
wait, what did
It's
I
e-
order?
It's either my wife or my son. It's one of the two,
And
usually.
it's part exciting, like, hey, oh, there's a package. But yeah, then you're like, oh no, what did I do? What did my wife do? What did the kids do? Oh boy.
I've ordered a lot of things I forgot about, and then when I get it, I'm like, oh yeah, and it's not nearly as exciting by the time I got it.
Mm. Yeah, then it's like
You
toilet
get buyer's
paper or
remorse.
toothbrush or something boring.
Not even so much buyer's remorse, but it's like, why did I order that?
Okay.
Like, what was I thinking 2 nights ago when I ordered
I
that?
have some of those same moments. I'll admit.
Yeah. I think they make it so easy to do. Are
It's
we?
convenient.
Yeah. So super convenient.
Well, you can legit order something, and I've done this before. I've ordered something one night, okay, late, like 10 or 11 at night. And
Was
it's
that late for you?
legit been on my doorstep the next morning at like 7. That's crazy.
It's a little creepy.
So I'm at band practice one day. We needed an extra music stand. Matt gets on the old telephone device, and a few hours later, it's on his doorstep. So it's
Yeah, I remember that.
That's a more extreme
And you
circumstance.
didn't do it through like Uber Eats to
we had
deliver
it.
you.
It
said
was
device?
Amazon. Just
It
Amazon,
was
right?
the A word.
The A word. It was within a few hours. It was there. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, you're right. It'd usually be like an Uber or a DoorDash or something that specializes in that. Holy cow.
Yeah, because you can
Speaking of
order
which-
from like Best Buy and have, and I'm pretty sure it's like Uber that's actually doing it, but you can buy a product and have them deliver it like within the
Wow.
hour.
Come on.
It's pretty awesome.
That's
Yeah,
way awesome.
just like your
lie.
Uber Eats.
Uber
crazy.
Eats and what's the other one?
Well, there's DoorDash is a big
DoorDash.
one.
That's
And,
what I was trying to
DoorDash.
think of.
and then Postmates.
Postmates.
And
Yeah.
yeah, there's all sorts of, I don't know. And they're all losing money. All of those companies, at least. They still
They're
haven't figured out a way
definitely
to.
losing money.
They haven't figured out a way to make that profitable yet. That's interesting, right?
You know what's interesting is a lot of these startup companies that it's like, oh, they must be super successful. They must be raking in the money. If you actually looked at their accounting, they're all losing money. Every one of them.
Half of Silicon Valley is in the red. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not profitable.
But they've got these cool ideas that might turn into something. Basically, they're positioning themselves to be bought out by bigger companies, but they're losing money. You're exactly right.
Yeah, it
So
takes years to turn a profit.
How do you compete with somebody who's willing to lose money? That's difficult, right? I mean, that just creates a whole new barrier of entry if you're trying to get into any industry and you're
Well,
dealing
you
with that.
don't. So if you take like Uber and Lyft, for example, because I think a lot of people can relate to that, and how much we all want to have a cheap ride. Have you guys ever taken like a legit taxi though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but yeah.
It's expensive.
It was expensive, right? But how easy was it to hail a taxi in downtown Salt Lake?
For sure. Yeah.
That's the other thing.
It was Chicago
not-
and New York are the only places I've done it. But
yeah,
it
you have to
wasn't
be in
in
a
your
big city like
phone.
that.
Right? So either you had to pick up the phone and call a dispatch, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
In big cities, you can see them just kind of like hail the cab, but it wasn't cheap. And so that's how Uber came into the market of, hey, we can make this super easy for people to get a ride. And they incentivize people by making the ride super dirt cheap. And so people started using it. And guess what did it do to the taxi industry?
Annihilated it. Yep.
It just about killed it. Just
Yeah.
about killed it.
To the point where they needed legislation to keep Uber and Lyft out of their parking spots and their areas of like at the Salt Lake Airport, for example. Like they had to come up with legislation and law to allow taxis to still exist. It was really interesting.
Well, and to the taxi company's credit, there's a lot of legislation around how to get into that market. And like they had to spend a lot of money. Like in New York, you have to get what's called a medallion to have the right to be a taxi driver. And you have to have like licenses and all this stuff. Just have the ability to own a taxi. It wasn't like you jump in your Honda Civic or your Toyota Camry and just put up a sign and start taking rides. And so when Uber came into the market of anybody can drive whatever they want and all of a sudden be pretending they're a taxi cab driver, no wonder the taxi cab drivers were pissed. So that's just an example of can you compete, because Uber was not doing it in a way that they were going to be profitable doing that. They were making a super cool app that made people want to use it. They incentivized them by making it cheap. But years and years and years before they turned profitable. And there's a lot of startup companies out there that are willing to lose money. They've got investors giving them seed money to get started,
Right.
because down the road that may turn into something of significant value.
Think about the concept of Uber and Lyft 20 years ago. If somebody would have pitched it to you then. So I'm going to call a stranger to pick me up in their vehicle. I don't know them. Like it's such a crazy concept that we just all of a sudden accept because it was an app all of a sudden on our phone. Oh, okay, now I'll do it. Like that's nuts to me. That we didn't blink twice at that. that was funny.
Yeah, but that industry has totally changed so many things. You know, how you get your food delivered. I mean, how many places do you know that actually have delivery drivers to deliver their own food? Even most pizza places have moved to not having
That's
their
true.
own delivery drivers.
Yeah.
It's got to be a big cost for companies like pizza companies and liability, right?
All of the above.
I delivered pizzas for Domino's once, way back in the day.
I think everybody did.
I supplied my own car. I wasn't making a whole lot of money unless I got good tips, which that was hit or miss.
Right.
So the other thing that the car company, Uber and Lyft, have done is, you notice they don't own a single car.
It's true.
No. Yeah, there's all sorts
the
of
risk out on other people.
Yeah, they are, and those people are starting to fight back a little bit. You've seen it in California and New York, where they're attempting or have unionized, and the gig economy protections that they've fought for. So that'll be interesting. So all this online talk. So we've talked about shopping and rides and even dating. You could throw that in there. That's a whole separate episode. How successful that is nowadays. Is this online era killing the real world?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I would even say, is it the online, or is it just our insatiable need? I think I pronounced that like way wrong. Insatiable. Yeah, insatiable
there
need.
He is. There's Matt GPT to the rescue. There he is.
Yeah, to just have everything so cheap and quick and easy that, you know, everyday companies just simply can't compete. I mean, if you think about what Walmart, not even online, has done to everyday, you know, grocery stores and just regular stores. I mean, how many stores have you seen go out of business since Walmart came to being, or got super popular in our lifetime?
To the point where there are towns, entire geographic locations that have blocked Walmart from coming in because of that, because they know what that will do to the local businesses.
They can come in and they can cut prices down below what is profitable for any other company to do, because they're dealing on such a different level of margin, or they don't care about losing money on certain things just to drive up business. And that's also happening online. But I tell you, there's nothing that makes me happier than driving through a town and seeing a Walmart that's gone out of business.
Right.
I've never seen that.
I've seen a few out here on the East Coast.
Okay.
Where locals have just said, we're not supporting it, and Walmart decides it's not worth their time being there anymore.
Well, once upon a time, Kmart was in that boat, right? We thought that was the more powerful retailer, Sears. There's another. But do you remember Wall-E, the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Wall-E. and the giant corporation that owned everything and ran everything. And I mean, that was 2008. And everybody thought that that was Walmart, that they were portraying. Oh yeah, Walmart's going to take over the world. They're super Walmarts now, and they've even got barbershops and Subways and McDonald's inside. Like they're just going to, it's out of control. And just a few years later, we thought, well, now it's Amazon. Amazon's the one that they're making fun of or that they're portraying. Is there another company out there that's going to take the crown, or is
I
Amazon
don't
here to
know.
stay? Is
Amazon might legitimately be the devil.
Alibaba.
Alibaba, Walmart, though, I think still has the physical presence. I think Amazon's working on that as we speak. But
The thing that makes Amazon such a juggernaut is their distribution.
good word. Yeah.
You know, they've got distribution centers everywhere. They're cropped up everywhere. And the power that gives them is immense, because that's how you can order something one night and turn around and get that delivered to you the next day. And that's impressive. And people
It
are
really is.
addicted. It's addicting too, because you think, okay, well, I've still got time. I can order this and order this and order that, whatever. And it comes to you the next day seamlessly, right? It seems like.
Absolutely.
But it's like the devil is in the details, right? You have to kind of sell your soul to be able to get stuff like that.
Man.
Especially if you're an Amazon seller.
And a lot has changed, especially in the last couple of weeks for that. I don't know if people are aware. Amazon's made some changes and they're making some moves.
So Amazon has been kind of the end all be all of online shopping for several years now, but Temu and Shein are some Chinese companies that have come into play, selling super cheap goods
Dirt cheap.
and
Yeah.
like super cheap. And have you guys bought anything from either
Yeah.
of those?
I frequent, not, I wouldn't say frequent. I've more patronized AliExpress, if you've heard of that. Alibaba's version of Temu.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll buy something and then a month or two later, surprise, it comes.
Yeah, the Temu stuff I haven't done, but Bailey bought some stuff on Shein. Shein, I think that's how you say it. Shein.
Super popular with clothing.
Yeah,
Is that what she bought?
because you can get all that stuff that's kind of trendy or whatever, but for really cheap, right? Really cheap. And so when you're on a budget and you don't really want to spend a whole lot of money, it's very attractive, even though you have to wait for like 2 months to get your stuff.
By the time you get it, you've totally forgot you even ordered it.
And
Those
the
are
other
the
thing
true
too
surprise packages. Yeah, for sure.
if you get the wrong size or something, you're just out that product, right? There's no return. There's nothing like that, because you'd spend you kind of roll the dice with that stuff, because if you get a wrong size or don't like the fit or whatever and try to return something like that, there's a 50% chance that you're not getting your money back anyway.
Right. Was she satisfied with the product that she bought?
I think mostly, yeah.
Oh, okay. So she got a little bit there. Bobby, you
Well,
had
I ordered
some, yeah.
what I thought was going to be some hilarious shirts last year
Mm-hmm.
for my wife and I as couple shirts for Christmas. And when I got them, their quality control is so bad.
Oh, I bet.
I ordered a size 2X for myself, and I ordered my wife like a ladies medium, whatever. When the shirts got here, both of them, even though one was labeled 2X, were the same size.
Nice.
They just had different labels, but they were really the same size. I couldn't wear it. The other thing is they were just oddly cut and like shaped. So like they didn't even look like they fit right. Like the quality was so bad. So I've had that experience, and they also took forever to arrive.
Yeah.
But then the other experience I've had is buying some electronics on there thinking, it's like $18. Like if I lose $18, not a big deal. Again, absolute garbage.
Unbelievable.
And so you're getting these things that are just super cheap. But I read somewhere that Temu is far from profitable. Like it is being subsidized so far that they're losing billions of dollars. Um,
Who's subsidizing them?
Trying, well, there's allegations the Chinese government.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, they're trying to make a dent in Amazon's business. And I think it's worked because now to circle all the way back to some of these changes Amazon's made is they announced last week this new part of Amazon's app called Amazon Haul. And that is their competitor to this Temu and this Sheen where products under $20 you can order it, and the only thing you're sacrificing versus the regular Amazon experience is it won't get to you as quick as you've come to expect with Amazon. And that's because the product's going to be shipped from China or something as opposed to one of the distribution centers down the street from you.
Right.
So here,
And if you're wondering too, just really quick, Brandon, I know you want to jump in there on the
you're
screen.
good. You're good. Yeah, keep
But
going.
if you're wondering why the name Hall, it's because of all of these social media influencers touting all of their best deals that they get and how much they can get for a cheap price, right? So they call that a haul that they've gotten from online. This is the haul I've gotten. So Amazon took that now and it has made that a part of their marketing plan on this program that's anything under $20, I think. Oh yeah, you're showing it right there.
Yeah. So
Unbelievable fines, $20 and under.
for those of you actually watching, as it says here, it's a mobile only experience at this point. It's actually in beta production still. They have yet to advertise it broad market. But you, in your mobile app, if you have the Amazon app, you can type haul and search haul, and it will direct you or redirect you to their version of Temu or Shein or AliExpress. And it's all items under $20. These are dirt cheap items. You got to wait a little bit longer, so they're not on the 2-day Prime. And we're not
And they're
advertising on
mostly
the. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say they're mostly all Chinese sellers or overseas sellers. Right?
They are. They absolutely are.
Yeah, when we were clicking through it the other day, every one of the products we looked at was a Chinese seller. And how did we know that? Because all the text was in Chinese characters. Like it's not even trying to hide it from you. But the other thing you'll notice is the products they're selling there are the same products as you would see on regular Amazon, oftentimes with the exact same photos, everything. And the difference is the ones you're seeing on the regular part of it, generally it's a third party seller who has purchased in bulk from a manufacturer who could be anywhere in the world, but oftentimes there's a lot of manufacturing that happens in China. And so these third party sellers, they negotiate a rate with a manufacturer, they had it shipped overseas. Likely they were applicable to tariffs to have those items shipped over. And the truly brilliant thing that Amazon has done is figured out how to cut out the middle people who need to make some money in this transaction. And now these sellers selling on Amazon Haul likely are the factory. And because these products are so cheap and they're being shipped individually, there's no tariffs applicable. Even with all the talk of new tariffs and stuff, there's no way they're going to put tariffs on individual shipments that are $20 or less. And there's some discounts on shipping when it's a smaller individual product coming from international. And so it's obliterated these third-party sellers' business who were buying in bulk from factories and reselling it on Amazon's marketplace, because now just simply the cost they can purchase it for plus all of Amazon's fees to participate in their third-party seller programs far exceeds what these other sellers can sell the same product for directly through Amazon Haul. and not be applicable to all these other costs of doing business.
Unreal.
And by the way, what that's done too is it's eliminated an entire industry of people called Amazon sellers, right? Who resellers, who, like Robert said, end up getting at a discount because they're buying in bulk all of these products shipped over and then selling them and making a little bit of an income um, from off the face of the earth because there's now no money. It just makes there's no incentive for you to be able to do that, be an Amazon seller anymore, where there used to be, because the fees are astronomical. The getting the product is difficult, more and more difficult. And now when you're competing against directly with the factory that's sending these things over, it makes no sense anymore.
Especially without any tariffs, like you said. There's even subsidized shipping in some cases. I mean, the USPS isn't charging full amounts on these items.
So if you want to support the Republic of China, using Amazon Haul is a good way to do that.
Oh yeah, directly.
Well, or Temu,
Temu,
Shein,
yeah.
any of these
all of
companies. But as I started thinking about it, because right now it's affecting $20 and less products that are not American-made products. And let's face it, go search almost anything on Amazon. That product likely was sourced from another country. And because China has such a huge manufacturing base, a lot of those products are going to be made there. Now, there's still legit sellers on Amazon making their product in all kinds of different countries and things like that. But I think that the key thing here that we're talking about today is how some of our online like shopping addiction could absolutely be killing the economy around you, because the more we demand cheaper products, the more companies have to find creative ways to be able to sell products for cheaper. And many years ago, almost everything that was consumed was made local, basically.
Oh yeah.
And over the years, that's gotten to the point where now the U.S. manufactures very few things. And so that reduced costs and everything. And now it's gotten to the point, well, in order to reduce costs, now we need to cut out the people who are actually purchasing the product to resell it. And we need to cut out these middlemen. And so, but Amazon is getting paid. They figure out how they can get paid their fees regardless. And you have to think, like, is that what you want for your country? Because as of recently, been thinking so much about, I don't want to even shop at Walmart. I don't want to shop at Amazon. There's all these big companies I don't even want to shop at, because it's like, that's just contributing to some rich person's bottom line, right? Whereas if I go shop at the local little grocery store, I'm contributing to that local family, which is contributing to little league fees and things in the environment. And so I told my wife, I said, let's quit shopping at these other places. Let's go shop there. And she's like, well, it's a little bit more expensive. And I'm like, to me, that's actually a little bit more worth it.
I agree 100%. I think that's what it's done for me too. It's been kind of eye-opening dealing with Amazon on both sides, the the consumer and the reseller side. Just kind of seeing how they deal with people. And it's not exclusive to Amazon. Like you said, it's Temu, Shein, all of them. And some of the big box retailers, Walmart included, but I think well, I don't want to mention by name the other ones, but we all know who they are, right? So I think it is encouraged me to do the same thing. I think I'm making a commitment to stop using Amazon, stop using these, Shein and Temu and all these other ones, and try to buy local, try to shop local, and do it that way.
And it's interesting. There's more than just local jobs, local taxes at risk here. How about those of you who care about the environment? When these things are manufactured in these other company or other countries, do those countries care about the environment as much as we do? The answer is no. They do not have the regulations we do, and then there's the shipping. Think about the destruction to the environment that happens just during the shipping process alone. The fact that it needs to get here from halfway across the world. So if that's not enough, I'd say throw the environment on top of it. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I agree. These factories in China have zero regulation, right?
Unregulated, right?
So,
And then
where all that
their
stuff's
labor.
going.
I mean, they're some of these people are at near slave wages, if any wages, manufacturing these products. But hey, we get a cheaper toy, so it's worth it, right?
Well, I've just bought. There's been so much crap that showed up on my doorstep the last few years that was ordered online that is just absolute garbage. And yeah, it was cheap, but why are we buying this crap? Like, if it's a toy you buy for your kids and it lasts like 2 times they play with it, like that was a waste of money.
Ends up in a landfill or
Yeah,
in the
or
ocean.
just
Yeah,
things for around the house that just break or they're not what you thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, like, if my family stops shopping on Amazon, we'll save a ton of money because
yeah,
guess what? If I have to get off my butt and go buy some of the things I bought online, let's just face it, I'm not going through the effort to even try and find these items in a store. And so is it really all that worth it when was just super easy to buy it online?
yeah. It's tough. And this is just in time. I mean, we've got the biggest shopping day of the year headed our way. And by the time this releases, you'll have like a week left leading up to Black Friday. But there's a super important day the next day, that Saturday after Thanksgiving. Do you guys know what that one's called?
Is it like shopping
The
local?
Saturday, yeah, that's the local shop day.
Small Business Saturday, November 30th.
Yeah, so November 30th. So that Saturday right after Thanksgiving, Small Business Saturday. Nice.
Yeah, so get out there and support your small businesses local.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that fun, though? Do you guys shop at farmers markets or local
sometimes.
markets like that? It's usually a little more expensive, right? It's usually you're spending like $5 or $10 on an item that maybe you'd usually spend a couple, maybe like $2 or $3 at Walmart on. But isn't it fun looking somebody in the eye? Maybe it's your neighbor or somebody who you knows lives local. You're handing them cash or your card, and that money,
Well,
like you mentioned earlier, it goes to T-ball, it goes to college, it goes to
Yeah.
your local market again. It stays local.
my favorite store to shop at now is one that is in my local community, but I discovered it and know who owns it because he coached my daughter's softball team.
Nice.
And like I knew this store was there, but I didn't know he was associated with it until I was talking to him one day, and he said, "Yeah, my family owns the local home goods market." And I was like, "Oh, that's super cool." So now I go in there all the time, and I run into him most of the times I'm there. I know he's cutting my steaks. I can tell him exactly what thickness I want to cut, but it's just such a cool, unique little store. And when I go in there and buy produce, guess what? It came off his family's farm
Ooh.
that generally he picked that morning before he opened the store. And I love going there. And I probably spend a little more than I should when I go in there, but I feel good about it because, I got some really good food. He has the big bulk bins of like the nostalgic candy and stuff. So usually I stock up on some of that. But then I walk out with a cheer wine. It's soda of the South. It's amazing. But pop the top of it off at the checkout counter and go out on the sidewalk and I drink my cheer wine and then I leave. Like you're not getting that experience when you go
No.
to a big store and stuff.
Not at all.
And so I just think it's super cool. So like I'm so much more motivated now to be like, you know what? I'm going to try and put my dollars towards something local like that. And there, guess what? There's a lot of local small businesses all over the place that are trying to make a go of it. And every time we buy something super cheap online or a big box retailer, we're competing against those small businesses.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon gets the rap, right? I mean, that's the easy target. But Target, Walmart,
All of them.
they do the same
They're all
thing,
guilty.
right?
Home Depot.
It's all coming from the same spot. It's not here from this country. So either way, you're not buying local. You might
I think
be
most of
supporting
the Home Depots like that too. So don't
you're
go to the Home Depot. I
you're
hate the Home Depot.
supporting. Stop. We're cutting that. I love the Home Depot.
Well,
That's local lumber, baby.
Time at the Home Depot and Lowe's, but
Yeah.
the Rayford hardware store just next to the Home Goods store. That is the coolest hardware store I've ever been in my life. They sell lawnmowers, chainsaws, everything across the board. And I'm trying to get in my mind when I think of, I'm doing a home improvement project, I should go over to that hardware store versus Lowe's or Home Depot. Not nearly as big, but guess what? You walk in there and there's someone there willing to help you. They know exactly what they're talking about. And that's just so much cooler than, going to, a big store that, they don't care really.
Yeah, I agree. It's the experience.
So I'm glad you mentioned hardware. We actually have a buddy, former coworker of ours, who owns a local hardware store, M&M Tool and Machinery in Salt Lake. That's really cool. He's on Main Street there in Salt Lake City. So he distributes like woodworking, construction, production equipment. Tim the Toolman Taylor would be there every day. Sounds like a Binford
Guaranteed.
place. Oh, guaranteed. That's cool though. I mean, that's something to keep in mind, right? Yeah, Home Depot's cool to walk through and see all the stuff, but you can get that same stuff at a local hardware store. And like you said, Bob, you've got somebody who cares, staring you right in the eye, willing to do whatever it takes to help you as a customer. And boom, that local economy is the benefactor there.
Yeah, and they'll remember who you are when you come back in.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Yeah.
I always think that's super cool when you can go in and like, hey, how'd that project turn out or whatever.
You can say, hey, I've got a tool guy. Let's go see my tool guy. And he knows you, and there's that connection. I like that.
I like it too.
I don't know. Did this episode go the way you thought it would? I think it did.
Yeah. It was conversational.
Was there like a big, we kind of did a takeaway, right? Like maybe we kind of stepped on it with that last part of the conversation. Should we do like a big wrap up takeaway here?
Yeah, sure.
So here during this holiday season, we have a challenge for you in the Only Stupid Questions land, podcast land. Shop local. Find a reason and find a way to put your dollar to local use. Do you guys accept the challenge?
Totally.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I say we make it a challenge. We turn it back to the people, and let's see over the next month.
Report back. Buy something local and report back in the comments to the show notes or whatever you do. Just report back and let us know how it went.
Nice. Let us know you're fine. Maybe you'll inspire us to go visit that business ourselves and make it happen. I can't wait. I want to hear from the people. What do you shop locally that you can turn us on to? We can shout out businesses, whatever it takes. I think we've given you a few examples in this episode. That's fun. Again, it does feel different when you shop local. I think those of you who have done it feel the same way.
100%.
100%. No cap, as the children
No
would say. No cap.
No caps on that.
With the local
You're so mid.
shopping. Hey, thanks for listening to the Only Stupid Questions podcast. Give us a like and a subscribe. Please leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast.
Only stupid questions.